Welcome to Legends from the Nonprofit Crypt. I'm Jessica Aviva, and this is Bloodsucker, a special Halloween edition of the podcast. Abby is the outreach coordinator of a regional blood bank. She develops partnerships with local businesses and nonprofits to organize blood drives for all of the hospitals throughout the community. Her job also involves fundraising, donor engagement, and, like all nonprofit staff, she's expected to perform other duties as required, which could be just about anything. One day, Abby arrived at work and found a strange man sitting in the lobby. As the face of the blood bank, she immediately approached him to welcome him to their facility and to see how she could help. "Good morning. Welcome to the Regional Blood Bank. I'm Abby. How can I help you?" she asked in a jubilant and friendly tone. "My name is Vladimir," the man replied. "I'm the new phlebotomist." Abby was amused by his name. "Kind of like Vlad the Impaler?" she asked, smiling and laughing. Vladimir was not amused. "I just came here to do my job, to draw blood from people in the community." "Okay," Abby replied. "I'll show you where to go." Vladimir stood up. Abby could not help but notice that he had a death tarot card keychain attached to his black leather backpack. "Oh my gosh, did you meet the new phlebotomist?" Abby asked the marketing director in the staff lounge later that day. "He's creepy, and his name is Vladimir. I think he might be a vampire." "Don't be silly," the marketing director replied, "and be careful about talking like people like that. You're going to get written up by HR." And so Abby tried to keep an open mind about her new coworker, but there was just something off about him, something that sent chills up and down her spine. 9 days later, at a large blood drive event held in the blood bank's parking lot, which included a live band and 3 food trucks, Abby worked late. So late, in fact, that it was dark by the time she left work. And she was all alone. As she walked to her Volkswagen Beetle convertible, she felt footsteps behind her. "It's Vladimir," she thought. "He's going to suck my blood." She turned around quickly, but she didn't see anyone behind her. She heard a rustling in the giant oak tree above as about 100 bats flew into the night. Abby nearly passed out. Her heart racing, she walked quickly to her car, opened the door, got in, locked the door, turned the car on, and put the car into reverse. As she looked into her backup camera, she saw a large male figure blocking her exit. It was Vladimir. Abby considered driving forward into the woods, and then she considered backing up really fast so that he would get out of the way. But of course she couldn't do something like that in case he would get hurt, just in case he wasn't a vampire who could transform himself into 100 bats in a split second. She put the car in park and got out with the car still running. "Hi, Vladimir," she said in a soft voice. "What are you doing here?" "You forgot your lunch bag," Vladimir replied, extending his arm and her purple faux crocodile lunch bag in her direction. Abby quickly stepped forward. "Thank you," she said as she took the lunch bag from Vladimir. "I have to get home so that I can give my dog her medicine before 10 p.m." Abby turned to get into her car. "Good night," Vladimir replied as he turned and walked away from Abby's car. When Abby arrived at her apartment, which, by the way, did not allow pets, why did she make up that excuse, she thought to herself. She got her keys out of her purse before turning off the car, carefully scanned the area to make sure no one, especially Vladimir, was around, and then exited the car, pressed the automatic lock, and walked quickly to her apartment door, not too fast so that Vladimir wouldn't know that she was onto him in case he was hiding in the bushes or in one of the trees. The next day, when Abby got to work, she dreaded seeing Vladimir. Maybe she was just being paranoid, but she was sure that something awful was going to happen. But Vladimir did not show up for work that day, or the day after, or the day after that. With each passing day, Abby became more and more suspicious of what he had brewing. "Have you seen or heard from Vladimir, the marketing manager?" asked Abby one morning the following week. "The police saw you talking to him on the cameras the night he went missing. You may have been the last person to see him alive." "I saw him when I was leaving on the night of the blood drive," Abby replied. "He followed me out to my car to give me my lunch bag, which apparently I left inside." Nonetheless, despite her perfectly simple and logical explanation, the police decided to interview, more like interrogate, Abby about her relationship with Vladimir, what they were doing in the parking lot, and what she really knew about his disappearance. Have you checked the trees? She thought. Maybe he turned back into a bat. But as she continued to cooperate with police and talk to her coworkers about Vladimir's impact in the short time he was there, his precise ability to draw blood without leaving a mark, his care and concern for coworkers' well-being, and his witty sense of humor, something that Abby never had the opportunity to see in her role as outreach coordinator, Abby came to a realization. He's not the bad person. I am. Another week went by, and there was no word from Vladimir. Abby started to feel sad. The following week, Abby received an email out of the blue. It said that it was from Vladimir. She opened the email. It said, "Dear Abby, I want to thank you for being such a good friend to me while I worked at the blood bank. From my first minute on the job, you were warm and welcoming, and I truly appreciate that. You might be wondering where I am. I had a family emergency and had to fly home overnight. I completely forgot to call off the next day and the day after that, and then I felt too ashamed to come back to work after missing a few days. Actually, I just assumed that I was fired because I didn't show up for work. I hope you can forgive me and that we can still be friends." Abby was mortified. What a horrible person she was. She felt so judgmental and mean when Vladimir really was a decent human being, and he thought of her as a friend. After processing all of her emotions, she decided to make up for her mistake. Abby picked up the phone and called the executive director. "Hi, Hank. This is Abby. Can I talk to you for a few minutes?" "Sure," replied Hank. "I'm heading to a meeting in about 2 minutes. We can talk on the way to my car." When Abby met Hank at the front door, she told him about the email she received from Vladimir, and she pled his case as they walked towards Hank's station wagon. "Is there any way Vladimir can get his job back?" Abby asked. "He really didn't mean to ghost us." "I guess we should give people the benefit of the doubt," Hank concluded. "I definitely believe in second chances, and I've had plenty of those in my 74 years. All right, I think it's a good idea. I'll give Vladimir a call tomorrow to let him know that he can come back." Abby was relieved. "Thank you so much, Hank. I really appreciate it." "And I appreciate you for bringing this to my attention," Hank replied, and he flew off into the night. Thank you for listening to Legends from the Nonprofit Crypt. If you find yourself perpetually in need of a virtual hug, conversations with people who get it, and opportunities to create real change, come hang out with me at Community Changemaker School or Club Fruition. It'll be so much fun. You can find out more and join us at fruitioncoalition.com or jessaviva.com.